Well, it's that time of the year again, and before we head in and enjoy all that great food, I wanted to introduce myself. I'm your facilitator, Joel, and together we will explore the Department of Defense's planning, programming, budget, and execution process, known as PPBE for short. And I'm not sure about you, but I can't think of a more enjoyable way than to compare it to one of the great traditions Americans prepare for every year: Thanksgiving. Planning. The first step in planning a Thanksgiving meal is to assess the needs of your family. This is like the needs assessment in the DoD planning process. You need to find out who's coming, who's allergic to what, whose dietary restrictions must be considered, and who's a picky eater. This is essential information to have before putting the menu together. In the DoD, they conduct a form of needs assessment as well. Leaders incorporate strategic documents, such as the National Security Strategy and the National Defense Strategy. They figure out what the DoD is being asked to accomplish, and it becomes the basis for future processes that includes everything from personnel to equipment to training. As is true for both situations, it's a big job, but someone's got to do it. Now, let's get back to your Thanksgiving meal. You've assessed the needs of your family, and you know that Uncle Raymond is on a low-sodium diet. Aunt Martha went gluten-free, and Cousin Eddie prefers pumpkin pie and reminds you of that at every family get-together. So you'll need to plan accordingly. Although the timelines are longer in the DoD planning phase, most don't plan Thanksgiving years into the future. You still need to decide what dishes you're going to serve, how much food you'll need, and how much it's going to cost. So let's say you're planning on serving turkey, mashed potatoes, green beans, and 2 types of pies for your Thanksgiving meal. You'll need to figure out how much of each item you'll need, taking into account any dietary restrictions and individual preferences when available. You'll also need to decide how you're going to cook everything and how long it will take. In the DoD, developing a plan means coming up with a strategy to accomplish the mission. This could involve developing new weapon systems, training personnel, or developing new technology. The results are detailed in a strategy document called the Defense Joint Planning Guidance. In the DoD, the planning process is a bit more involved. They need to come up with specific goals and objectives, timelines, and cost estimates. It's like planning a Thanksgiving meal on steroids, but years in advance in most cases. This is because of the complexity and time requirements in the acquisition process and the need to justify the necessary resources to Congress well ahead of the first year of execution. Programming. Once you've got your plan in place, it's time to program the resources you need. This is like programming the resources in the DoD process. You need to figure out what you need to buy, where you're going to get it, and how much it's going to cost. For your Thanksgiving meal, this means creating a shopping list and hitting the grocery store. It also means allocating the necessary resources such as pots, pans, and serving dishes. In the DoD process, programming resources means allocating personnel, equipment, and funding to support the plan. So let's say you've got your shopping list ready and you head to the grocery store to buy your Thanksgiving meal ingredients. You'll need to make sure you have enough money to pay for everything and that you're buying the best quality ingredients. In the DoD, programming resources means making sure that the right people are in the right place at the right time. It also means making sure that the equipment and technology being used is up to date, effective, and ready to enable the warfighter. Budget formulation, managing the budget process. Throughout the process, you need to understand there is a difference between an ideal and realistic budget. It serves no one to plan out a meal with a champagne taste when you have a Boone's Farm budget. Similarly, as you transition from planning to programming and into budget formulation, the DoD must understand that what they ideally would want may differ from what Congress eventually provides them with in their annual budget. For us and our Thanksgiving meal example, maybe our list of invitees needs to be adjusted. We can still have a great meal and meet the nutritional concerns of the family, but we have to adjust the shopping list or quantities we planned. Maybe we only have pumpkin pie instead of both pumpkin and apple pies. You need to keep track of your spending and make sure you're not overspending. In the DoD, managing the budget means ensuring that resources are not only being allocated properly, but also being used effectively and efficiently to achieve the objectives of the plan. Budget execution. Finally, it's time to execute your plan. This is like the execution phase of the DoD process. You need to prepare the food, set the table, and serve the meal. At this point, you have everything you need to prepare your Thanksgiving meal. You start cooking the turkey, mashing the potatoes, and cooking the green beans. You're feeling pretty good about yourself and are ready to serve the meal to a gaggle of ravenous family members. You set the table, pour the drinks, and sit down with your family to enjoy the feast. As you're eating, you realize that you may have overspent on some items. Next year, you'll need to plan better and make sure you're not overspending. In the DoD, overspending in one area can force some rather uncomfortable conversations with Congress. To avoid these unpleasantries, tools such as transfers and reprogramming actions supports the overall process. Moreover, in the DoD, executing means conducting missions and tasks according to the plan within the allocated resources. The final step, both in the DoD and in a Thanksgiving dinner event, is assessing your performance. Execution review. In our Thanksgiving dinner example, the meal is complete. Uncle Raymond is snoozing on the couch, and the football game is providing a welcome distraction to the once rambunctious crowd. As you begin the cleanup of dinner, you assess exactly how the dinner went. In many ways, this is akin to the execution review process, where in the DoD, stakeholders want to know what was achieved and how well it was executed according to the plan. Conclusion. As you can see, planning a Thanksgiving meal is a lot like the DoD planning, programming, budget, and execution process. It involves assessing needs, developing a plan, programming resources, creating a budget, and executing the plan. By following this process, you can successfully plan a Thanksgiving meal for your family, or the DoD can allocate its resources effectively and efficiently to achieve its objectives. So, the next time you sit down to enjoy a Thanksgiving meal, take a moment to appreciate the work that goes into planning and executing a successful meal. And if you're ever in charge of supporting the national defense strategy inside the DoD, you'll be prepared to tackle the challenge with ease.